Okay, let's try this again. Fathers Are Important Instagram Live podcast show. Special guest Indi Remy. Alright, let's do this again, everyone. My name is Arcadio Santana, and this is Fathers Are Important. Fathers Are Important is an Instagram Live podcast show for all fathers and mothers to come on here and let their voice be heard. Now, my special guest for today is Indi Remy from Los Angeles. Indi Remy is a comedian from Los Angeles, and she started off by going viral by giving. She started off going viral, which made all fathers very proud of her by starting off with let's hold accountability. And how she went about it, she was very raw, very uncut. Some people might have been offended by what she said, but at the same time, it showed her love for fathers. And we're going to go live with her right now, Indi Remy. And we're going to hear a lot about what she has to say about parental alienation, mothers denying access from, denying fathers access from seeing their child. She's going to be raw and uncut. So please tune in right now. And I'm going live with Indi Remy. Going live right now. Coming up any second. Here we go. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing? All right.
Lovely. How are you all day on that end?
Everything's good out here in Long Island, New York, that is.
That's good.
All right. I know who you are, but let's start the show off by you introducing yourself and your name and where you're from.
Okay, so I'm Indi Remy. I'm Indi Remy Comedy here on Instagram. I'm originally from Baltimore, and what else you want to know? I currently live in LA.
Okay. And once again, for the people that are tuning in right now, my name is Arcadio Santana, coming from you live from Long Island, New York. And this is Fathers Are Important. Fathers Are Important is an Instagram Live podcast show for all fathers and mothers as well. So before we go into talking about why you feel fathers are important, let's start the show off by asking you personally about yourself. How long have you been doing comedy?
Okay, so to be honest with you, I'm still a novice at this thing. I've only been doing it, like taking it seriously full time. I'm coming up on my 3rd year, so 3 years. Yeah.
3 years. Wow.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe, because for the people that watch you on that follow you on Instagram, a lot of us may find it hard to believe that you're only doing it for 2 to 3 years, because you sound like a legend in the making already with the stuff that you be saying. You go from serious to serious, like what you did with Fathers Are Important, and funny as well. And
well, I think, okay, so for those who don't know, I was in the hair industry for a long time.
Okay.
So I'm a hairstylist by trade. So a lot of my material, a lot of the things that I came across, the situations, the circumstances, the conversations that I give y'all, all of that really started from me receiving that, because I've been a hairstylist for so long. So it's like pillow talking with your girlfriend. You get what I'm saying? You kind of get in on what the fuck is really going on. Because see, a girl won't be honest with a hairstylist about what the fuck is really going on in her life. You know what I'm saying? Hairstylists know on every fucking thing. We therapists. And then on top of that, I also worked in a barbershop. So out of all those years, the last 7 years, I was the only hairstylist. Well, I wasn't in among other girls, but I was the consistent hairstylist in there in a barbershop for 7 years. So now I got the best of both worlds. Because at first I had the ladies, you know what I'm saying, that's sitting in my chair. And then I got the dudes that's getting their hair cut. And we all know what the niggas talk about in the barbershop. That's what
all right.
Go down.
So you had the best of both worlds.
Yes, absolutely. So that's where we at.
Okay, okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. You had a little bit of you had conversation with females and men when it came to certain situations as well with them
Yes,
venting
that
to
is
you.
correct. That is correct. That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, okay, so
Yeah.
that's great.
And most of
Now,
the time, when females had conversations, like for instance, the video that I did, that I think we just gonna
hmm
dive right on into, the video I did that went viral. The reason how that came about is because I'm privy to both sides of the fence. The girls love me because I'm honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real, genuine. If I'm a friend, I'm a friend. So I'm gonna give you real, genuine, honest advice. You know. And the guys loved me because I was easy to talk to. I wasn't that female that was trying to necessarily get with them. It was more like I'm giving them a female's perspective. At the same time, they really didn't have. They really couldn't confide to their homies the way they could sit and spit. Spit and talk with a female. And
hmm
they kind of let me in on what was going on in their life, like, sis, you know what I'm saying? This is what the fuck is really going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good father.
hmm
And a lot of these guys was coming into the barbershop, bringing their son, or their kids with them, while they was getting their hair cut. And they would sit there and tell them, like, put their head down and be like, man, I'm going through this fuck shit, my baby mother, she always on the nigga. And when a man is in his most vulnerable, I believe it or not, I think it's at the barbershop, for real. I'm being honest with you. That's where niggas lay it
Yeah.
all out there, you know what I'm saying? And they felt comfortable to speak to me about some of that stuff. You get what I'm saying? And I said, God damn,
hmm
that's some fucked up shit, you know? That's some fucked up shit. And then, I know females from being in my chin, I know what the dirty shit that they doing. So I'm like, wait a
hmm
minute, hold on. A female need to talk about this shit, because I know what we do. I know what we're capable of doing. You understand what I'm saying? And I know that we can hurt a man. And we know we can hurt him by removing the children out of the house or at least having him access to the kid. You understand? So we're going to talk about that. But let me know what you want to talk about. Go ahead. Tell me. I'm
So you was
listening.
pretty. It's good to see that you was a therapy to the men and women.
Yes,
You was a therapist.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because,
And
it's
like
about accountability. It's about
hmm
accountability. How can we ask ourselves that we want, or how can we say to ourselves, I want to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday? But we're not holding ourselves accountable for our behavior that we did yesterday. It doesn't make sense. Or how that we say that we want better, but then we're not placing ourselves in a position where we can win. Whether it divide ourselves from no good ass family members or no good ass motherfuckers that's in our life, you know. So I'm all about a
hmm
process of elimination because I want to get to my purpose. So that's the reason why I feel like when guys get in these relationships with these females, if you're dealing with the first smell of fucking toxic, get the fuck away from that bitch. It's not gonna get any better. I'm
Absolutely,
telling you, it's not gonna get any better.
absolutely,
Guys will not listen to me,
absolutely,
but I'm telling you the truth, get the fuck away. She's telling you who she is.
absolutely. Now
And vice
let's
versa.
now let's start it off. Let's start it off. Why do you, Indy? Why do you feel that fathers are important?
Oh my goodness. First of all, because I did grow up in a two-parent household. I was a product of a marriage. I'm not shaming or downing anyone else that came into this world a different way, but I'm just speaking about how I came into this world. And so I
hmm
had my father in the house. Now it wasn't a pretty picture house. You get what I'm saying? It was one of those. We grew up in the 70s and the 80s. It's all about what it looked like rather than what the fuck it really is. So that's another story for another time. But right now, that's where I'm at in my life. I'm all about what it really the fuck it is. I'm not putting sugar on shit in my life. If it's fucked up, it's fucked up, and we're gonna speak about it. And that's only how we're gonna get better. But that's exactly how I came. I came into a situation where I had my father, and my mother was a prime example of what I consider a great woman. Y'all speak about the Claire Huxtables, but I actually had one, and I grew up with one. My mom was what everybody seen on the Cosby Show. I had that, And so even the marriage dissolved itself, my mother was a woman, you know? So she didn't get in the way of the relationship that my father had with us. You know, if you want to come get your children, if you want to come see your children, if you want to spend time with your children, and it wasn't about child support, it wasn't about alimony, it wasn't about any of those things. It was just about your relationship with your father. And you know, she never blocked that. Even when he got with a new woman, you know, she never blocked that. It was whenever you want access to your children, you got that. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna take it a step further. My mother was so much of a good woman that she accepted not only the new woman or his new wife's relationship, okay, but she also accepted that child that came out of their relationship. That child came over to our house sometimes. That child broke bread with us. You know, that was our sister. So my mother extended her love beyond that. And she showed, that's where my foundation, that's where my core come from. Because I had an example in my home. My mother, I mean by these watered down bitches these days. Because if the women, we need to get back to where we used to be. You know? I'm not trying to say that the man is not the leader of the home and all of those things, but these watered down bitches that we have today, they really not cultivating and motivating and helping to support the backbone of the black family, especially when it comes to our children, you know? You know, they so watered down because all they see now what was on social media and all they see now was on reality TV, and they look at that bullshit and they think that that's fucking real life. And our kids is out here suffering because guess what? They don't have a fucking mother who got a backbone and a foundation and her morale and her values is intact. They don't have that at home, you know? So they got to look for that shit to go out in the fucking streets. And that's when we get a whole bunch of other shit. So I'm glad that I had that core, that foundation. And that's that's me off of social media. You understand what I'm saying? That's me. Yes, but go ahead. So we can answer your question. Yes, that's what happened. I had
Now, what is your personal thoughts on well, before I even talk about parental alienation, you spoke briefly very highly about your father. How has your father been an impact in your life?
Okay, so there's a good and there's a bad side to that. But I will just say, if I had to speak on the most impactful thing, is that it was just his presence. It was just his presence alone. It was nothing to do with the things that he purchased me or, you know, those material things. It was just having a dad to go to, especially when you needed that, you know, because girls do favor their father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people don't like to admit it, but yes, it is the truth.
Yeah.
Now, can you still remember all of the things that you've done when you were younger with him, like a father and daughter moment?
So my dad was very much of an adventurous person. My father was ex-military. Okay, so that's where y'all kind of get that hard side of me. I grew up in a very structured, militant household. Okay, and it was a lot of girls, and it was only one son, and the son really he got it somewhat easy compared to the way how we got it. But I was always an adventurous. I was a tomboy. Okay, I'm sure most people probably have already picked that up about me. But I like to play with girls and do girl things. But I kind of like to, you know, fuck around with the boys and the sports and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was that shit. You know, so you know, but my dad, he saw that I had an interest in doing things that what we would consider most boys to enjoy, you know. So my father was a carpenter by trade. He also was a fisherman. He was a hunter, and he had a license to do all these. And he also owned a farm, and you know, so we would go every Saturday morning to go pick our vegetables and our fruit, so we could cook for dinner. And and I wanted to do those things with my dad. So I'm like, Dad, you know, show me how to build. Show me how to lay floor. Show me how to lay carpet. Show me how to hang drywall. All those things. So I was like his sidekick in a sense.
So you was his Robin. he would Batman and you would Robin.
Yeah, yeah, in a sense. But even though I wasn't his favorite though, but I was close to it, but I wasn't his favorite. The youngest though, my youngest sister
Okay,
was his favorite.
okay. Now, I'm very happy to hear that you had a wonderful relationship with your father. Very happy to
Yes,
hear that.
yes, 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 yes.
And now, let's have this talk now. Now, what for those of you that didn't see this, as a matter of fact, for those of you that are just tuning into the show now, my name is Arcadio Santana. This is Fathers Are Important, and this is Indi Remy we talking to right now. Now,
I'm
if you're new to this, if you are new to this page, and if you are new to Indi Remy page, please follow the both of our pages at your convenience. Now, like you spoke briefly once before about how you did the let's address accountability. For those
right.
of you, if you don't know, if for those of you if you haven't seen the video, she was basically talking about women denying access from women denying fathers access from seeing their kids. Now let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on parental alienation?
Oh well, I think that's really the most selfish thing that a parent can do. You know, be it male or female. But since we're speaking about the video, um, that's women are more unfit, in my opinion, than the father when they do shit like that. You know,
Yes.
women kind of women never really check their friends because they if they you know we confide in our friends and tell them the bullshit. They know what we do, and the thing is that here it is, you know, you looking at your homegirl, but a lot of their homegirls don't check each other. Like, girl, that's some fucked up shit that you doing. Why are you taking that man down child support? Why are you doing it? Why are you removing that child? You know? When if more friends stepped up and was being more fucking friends, you understand what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
get less females doing that bullshit. Because you'll be like, bitch, why the fuck is you doing that? You know?
Yeah.
You know, somebody need to come and remove that child from you. You're the motherfucking unfit one. You know what I'm saying? That's where the courts need to get at. But see, it really benefits our judicial separating the black man from the child. You know, so that's another story. We can dive deep into the political side of that. And you know, because I can go there with y'all. Y'all didn't know this side
Now,
of me, huh?
now let's have this other talk since you mentioned about the courts. Now, a lot of people say, which is true because I see it myself.
Uh-huh.
Family court shows more favoritism towards the mother, no matter how no matter what they might, what evidence might be brought to them or anything. Family court might even go to the point where they might grant the mother full access.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm really trying to say, they might grant the mother sole and physical custody instead of automatic 50-50. What are your thoughts on that as well?
Okay, so let
Do
me
you
just say
do?
the way our system is set up these days, let me just go there for a minute. It's rigged and it's flawed exactly to do exactly what it's doing. Like giving the women. I just told you that our black women are not where we used to be. Okay? And I'm not trying
Mm-hmm,
to say that we're weak, but we were looked upon to be the weaker vessel. If you got women
mm-hmm.
that's working hard and doing this and doing that, they can't really pay attention to the child. But let me tell you, the most significant part of that is when you can bring a weak black man out of that home, then that means that this world has won. That's all it's about. Enslaving our black, enslaving us, keeping us enslaved, right? But also weakening what would they consider the true perception of what a real black man embodies. So a woman can't give
Absolutely.
that. She can't give that to a guy. And I think because you know a lot of women raising him to be
Yes, absolutely.
a man.
think it's a service issue.
Support. We're going to remove his license so he can't get a job, or he can't get licensed in other states. You know, because all of that's tied in together. So you can't renew a license if you're a barber. You can't renew your license if you wholesale license and all of these things. So it's all designed really for the black man to fail. But if we can have more, that's why you look at that. Look what we got now. We got all of these, and I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to use the F-bomb, but we got all of these rainbows coming out of the house that's being raised by women. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. All of these rainbows is coming out these houses. And what do you think that they're doing? Making a mockery of us. That's why I look at that whole lifestyle is really making a mockery of who we are,
I think we were losing just a little bit of service. Can you just rewind some of that back, just a little bit of what you were saying? Because not everybody was hearing everything you were saying because the phone was just freezing up a little bit.
Oh, it did. What did I?
Well, like the last part we heard you talking about what, like, could you just rewind a little bit of what you were saying because it was freezing up a little bit.
I basically was just saying that the whole system was designed for the black man to fail. That's all. And whenever we can produce more weak men to come out of these homes, that's really them winning, to be honest. Because if we were the most feared at one point in time, the inferiority has to be removed by, of course, making us look like the weaker vessel. So that's why I say black women, we bought into this fucking system. We really buying into something that's really not even ours. That's just being honest with you. You know, the whole thing, everything that we're doing, we tend to jump in on their fucking problem versus just settling what the fuck we got going on and dealing with our homes. We want to grab onto everybody else's shit, you know? And to be honest with you, women's lib, that was all designed for them. That's their bullshit. That's not our shit. Our shit was never that, you know? But this is the reason why I say that, you know, black women, that's why I'm hard on us. Because we are failing. Black women are failing. We are failing big time. Can you talk about biracial relationships? If you want to, yes.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yes.
No, what were you going to say?
No, somebody was saying, I was reading the comment. But go ahead to your next question. I'm sorry.
Well, my question is, do you feel that there needs to be a reform in family court? And everybody, you can answer that question as well. Do you, Indi Remy, do you feel that there need to be a reform in family court with a lot of what's being done towards? So.
But the reality is that that's not going to happen because that's not the way how it's designed right now. You know, we have to, as black women, have to take charge of our own responsibility in that situation. First of all, you met that man, you had a baby with that man, right? What's wrong with being amicable after the relationship dissolved itself? What's wrong with putting our children first, their needs first, and stopping all of the bullshit? You know what I'm saying? It's too much of that reality shit that people trying to live out in their life in real life. You know, that shit that we see on TV, even the way they're projecting us on TV, you know, for ratings, and they making money off of us. And look at that, you know, we feed into that. So we try to, you're looking at your young minds, they going home and they looking at their mother watching it, and they thinking that this shit is what fucking women do. This is how women settle things, by all of this fucking chaos and noise and shit. No, we need to teach our children that that's not the way how it's supposed to be. Regardless if I don't have a relationship with your father anymore on a personal level, that doesn't change the relationship that my child is going to have with him. I can promise you that. That's none of my business. That's none of their business what happened. That's grown folks. Like you said, grown folks shit, right? People need to let us stop allowing their children in on what grown folks' business, you know? And we need to keep grown folks where they at. And let me tell y'all another reason. Women going to be mad at me when I'm going to tell you this. But I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to get the most problem out of a female when you get a female, when you get a female that's better than her. And I'm not saying on the looks, I'm not saying just on the looks. I'm saying that whenever a guy gets out of a relationship with a female, and then all of a sudden he gets into a new relationship, and then this bitch start bringing him all of these motherfucking problems out of nowhere. You know, he done let her do all of the shit that she wanted to do all this time. This nigga probably been single, just taking care of his child. You understand? But then let's just say a woman pique his interest, and he like, okay, all right, let me go ahead on over and check Shorty out real quick. He may start feeling her, you know? Then all of a sudden, the girl see that he feeling another bitch. So now she inquisitive. Well, I want to know what the bitch look like. I want to see who she is. Because she playing like she really interested in knowing who the fuck is around her child. But now the bitch really just want to see who the fuck you chose, okay?
It's sad, but you're telling the truth. It's sad, but it's the truth.
Huh?
I said it's sad, but it's the truth.
It's true. So let's just say if she's a raggedy bitch, okay, you know what? You may not even have no problems out of it. Because the first thing she's going to do is go back and tell her girlfriend, girl, he couldn't even get better than me. That nigga, I was the best he ever got. But let's just say if the bitch is better than her, okay? And I'm not just speaking about looks, okay? Because I want y'all to understand that better doesn't mean necessarily looks. I'm just saying that she's a female that's able to take what he has and be able to multiply that and make, because see, that's what women do. We're builders. You know what I'm saying? We get with the right man get with us. We can take something small and make that shit motherfucking big. We can make that manifest. So let's just say now he was a nigga who had a 9-to-5 job, but now he with the right woman that helped motivate him and help propel him to move to another level. Now he thinking about entrepreneurship, okay? Now the business is doing well. Who do you think this dumb bitch that he got over here is a baby mother? I can tell you, she gonna start telling, I want some of what he got now, okay? But not only that, I want to cause problems in the relationship because I see he got a good woman by his side. She was a better, and women can't tell another fucking female, you a better woman than me. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Teach me, show me how to be good. Show me how to be a better woman. We don't want to humble ourselves. Show me, teach me. I want to be a student in this moment, okay? You see your female, you see all your girlfriends, they can keep a fucking man. Bitch, you can't get one. You may want to start asking your girlfriends, how the fuck do you keep a man? What is it that I need to do? I need to get in that fucking kitchen. I need to learn some skills, okay? I need to keep a clean home. Because I'm going to tell you something. A man don't want to come home to that bullshit, but let me not get off the subject. Let me not get off the subject. Y'all was getting ready to get Indi Remy for real
now. Now, your relationship with your kid's father, how was that?
Oh, yeah, it was a lovely relationship with my second time around. So I was married, and the marriage was good. You know, I was married for 19 years. I know everybody like, what? Yeah, 19 years I was married. Yeah. And then I decided to do it all over again. So I get into another relationship. The majority of my life I've really been in relationships. I ain't even been on the single circuit. The single circuit, okay? But as I spoke to you before about it, which you already know, he was killed in Baltimore. And
rest in peace to him.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And that's where, you know, he was a great father. You understand? And I look at situations like that, you know, where, you know, we have so many great fathers that's not only being removed by the court system, but they're being removed by their own fellow brother, you know? So another child got children that's being raised out here, like you're taking important people away from the what's important puzzle piece to the foundation and the core of the black family. You understand? So we're doing ourselves an injustice as well. You know, we can't always blame them. We got to also look at our own doing, right? So that's where I'm at with that. So I've experienced what it is for to be raised by a great man, and then to have a great man in my presence, with great men in my presence with their children. Yes.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Now, if you had the power to change everything in family court and make things fair in your end, what would some of the things be? What would you change in family court if you had the power to do a reform? What would you change? And everybody else, you are more than welcome to comment below on what you would change in family court if you had the power to do it. But Miss Indi, please speak.
Well, as I guess in a sense, more so, always assuming that the better parent is the mother. You know, a man has to really fight for. He has to actually lay it out there. She has to be totally unfit. Like even sometimes, even when they're totally unfit, they still want to give control to the mother, but make her go through parenting classes, or maybe if she got substance abuse issues, make her go through substance abuse, but they still don't want to remove the kid, you know? They you know, because kids staying in toxic situations, that helps mold them to be more than likely a menace to society. So that's the reason why they keep them in those type of situations. Like I tell you, it's all design. But I would definitely change the way how they perceive men, because y'all really have to fight to get your rights, you know, and to be heard, and that's not fair.
Do you believe that that from the womb, like from the jump, do you believe that there should be 50-50?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did it just take me to conceive that child? No. No. You served an important piece to that puzzle, you know? And then women have to understand it. They have to see that. You know, we can speak all day about being mature and being adults, but it's the way that we handle situations in life is what determines if we are mature adults. Has nothing to do with age. It's how we handle situations. And we have to be a product of what we say we want. You want peace in your life, you create peace. You create a space for peace. If you want your child to, you know, your children to thrive and to have their mother and their father, be it good, bad, or indifferent, between the relationship that you have with him, allow him to have access, the same access that you are granted freely, you know? Because to be honest with you, a man really shouldn't have to go through these necessary steps to see his children. You know, all of that, you know, you see him on the weekends, this weekend. Like, if he say, I want to see my kid, he should be able to see his kid. It should be pull up. That's what my father did. He pulled the fuck up. If he got off work and he pulled up to the house, yeah, he pulled the fuck up. Sometimes he had, you know, my mother was generous. She would tell him, come on in, you know, come on inside the house. She was still making him a fucking meal and everything. Give him a plate of food. I think I got a different mother, y'all. She gave him a plate of food and everything. Sit with your children, help them do their homework.
You can't find that anywhere else.
Yeah. But believe it or not, that's an extension of who I am and who my other siblings are. Like, we've all been divorced, or we've all left out of our first relationships, and some of us have gotten to another relationship, another marriage. But that man from that first marriage is family. That man, a man has children with you. That's family. That doesn't change. He's family, you know. And you have to still treat him as such, you know. And so a guy dealing with me, he already knew that. Like, it was no conflict. It wasn't drama, you know. That's my kid's father. That's my kid's father. That's all it is, you know. And you want to respect him, and he gonna respect the next man too. That's how we get that. So that's grown people shit, you know. Grown people shit. All that fucking drama stuff, that's for the children. And that's what we want our children to think, that this is how we handle real life situations. That's why I said the father is very important, because men, y'all don't really allow a lot of things to distract y'all. Like, we pick and choose a whole bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? But men, y'all are very simple creatures, you know? So that's where I think a child really needs to get that sense of understanding. Like, you know, Dad is showing me that you ain't gotta fight every battle, only the ones that support you. We're women, we on every motherfucking thing, you know? So children need that balance. They need, girl or boy, they need that balance.
Now there's some women
Love
out
you
there.
too.
There's some
Huh?
women. There's just a few more. There's a few more questions I want to ask you. There's some women out there that will be so mad and angry towards a father where they would sit back and say, you know what, this baby's not even yours anyway, knowing damn well the baby looked exactly like the father. But
Right.
they would try and say things like that to play a mental mind game with them and try and make the father go crazy. What are your thoughts on some things like that?
That's just women really just with their bullshit. I wouldn't even really pay a guy any attention with that shit. You know, like don't pay a female any attention with that dumb shit. Half the time women be saying things out of their mouth because they're just trying to get a reaction out of a guy. Has nothing to do with the fact of it's some real shit. It's all about I want to see if I can get a reaction out of him. And believe it or not, people like triggers. Okay? And women, we are
Mm-hmm.
good triggers. We know how y'all guys gotta be stopped. Y'all gotta stop being so predictable, okay? Stop letting these women trigger you. When a bitch next time tell you it ain't your child, say, I thought the same motherfucking thing too. All right, give her what the fuck she want to hear. You understand what I'm saying? Give her what she want to hear. I'm for real. Give her what she want to hear. I bet you should stop saying that shit. You know, y'all gotta stop feeding into because the first thing a woman want to do is get you off your A game. You know what I'm saying? So when she say something like that, she how can I fuck with this nigga's day today? That's exactly what she's saying. How can I fuck with him today? Yeah. Oh, this child's not his. How? Get his fucking temperature up. You know what I'm saying? She tell her like, oh, you know what, bitch? I thought the same motherfucking thing too. Good looking out, and close the motherfucking door. Leave out.
Matter of fact, let's go on the Maury show.
She won't say that shit no more. She won't say that shit no more. No. No.
Now, in closing, I wanna ask you this in closing. If you could send a message or a stern message on your part to all mothers that are out there alienating their kids from their father, what would your message be?
Stop being selfish. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about your child. You know. If you can't say you want the best for your child by removing the better half of them, you know? Because let me just say this. I made a post on Facebook, but I want to touch on that real quick. Do we got time?
Yeah, we have time.
Okay. I made a post on my Facebook and I said that some women will remove the father out of a child's life because they want to mold that boy to be the man that they need him to be in her life. And I don't know if that went over some of y'all head real fast, but you got women who will make their children feel guilty for having or wanting or needing a relationship with their father because they want to honor the promise that they made to their mother, that if you hate him, we hate him. And that's where as women we need to not make our children's victims of our current situation with that guy. No matter if you mad with him, can't stand that nigga or not. Okay? He might have did some fucked up shit to you. Okay. Alright, we get it. But that's where women are at now. It's all about really control. I want to control. If I couldn't control him, the father, I can control the seed that comes from him. And we have more sons these days now that are feminine. And we have more girls that are more masculine because the mothers will beat the shit out of their daughters. But they will favor the son. But in return of them favoring the son, they want the son to not have a relationship with his father. They want the son to be totally dependent upon her, and to always feel the need to hold him in bondage. So that's why I say, like, women don't. It's not about you. You know, go out there and be the best parent you could possibly be. And being the best parent is to be inclusive. Okay, that means the dad and the mom, and y'all need to co-parent, have a good system. And the system is not always bringing the system into your fucking business, because you dealt with that man and you met that man on your own accord. So you don't need the system to come along and tell you or to make y'all feel like y'all are puppets on a fucking string. Open your mouth and
You're
speak
absolutely
plainly
right.
about what the fuck it is that we need to do to make sure that our children are thriving, healthy adults. That's all it is. And if y'all can co-parent well together, trust and believe, that's the best thing that we can offer our child. Because that's the best thing we can ever offer them.
Miss
Yes.
Indi, I want to thank you for being on the show. Everybody, once again, if this is your first time seeing Indi Remy, please take the time out and follow her. And if this is your first time seeing me, and please take the time out and follow Fathers Are Important. Indi Remy,
Yes.
can you please take the love from Long Island, New York, back to Los Angeles?
You guys, I'm sorry. I saw some people come on here. I wanted to say hi to everybody, but hey.
Please share the love from Long Island, New York, back to Los Angeles, please. And once again,
Yes.
you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to come on the Fathers Are Important show at any time you want.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
All right, no problem.
You have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take the time and thank Indi Remy and everybody who's been on the show tonight. Tuning in, watching everything. Once again, everybody, please take the time out and follow Fathers Are Important, because I'm raising awareness for parental alienation, domestic abuse against men, and the importance of why fathers are important. It takes two human beings to create another human being. And that's all I got to say. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Arcadio Santana, coming to you live from Long Island, New York, and I'm letting you all know why fathers are important. Good night.